more than I could have imagined. Absolutely. I was playing World of Warcraft back in 2009. It would have been back in 2009, and I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I flunked out of college. I was going to community college, trying to figure out what the fuck I was going to do. Frankly, I had no clue. I was living with my parents, and a guild member of mine hit me up and was like, "Hey, you want this? You want this beta key for a game called Heroes of New Earth? It's a Dota-like game, and I know you play Dota, and you want to try it out with us sometimes." I was like, "Okay," because I did play Dota, Warcraft Dota quite a bit, and sure, it's kind of like an evolution of it. So decided to give it a try. And just like so many other stories of for those that especially at that time that tried it out, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. It has a matchmaking feature, it's updated graphics, it's better controls, etc. Obviously I got hooked onto it like many others did in the beginning. And also at that time, it just so happened to be a coincidence that at my community college, I was taking some radio broadcasting courses, some sports broadcasting courses. And I was looking for more ways to get experience in sportscasting. And I was like, fuck it. I'm going to cast Heroes of New Earth. This is a fun game. I could see like an idea of casting this game. And again, we're talking back in 2009, 2010, well before Twitch existed. At the time, was services like Livestream, Ustream, Justin TV, etc. And 480p, you were lucky to get 480p quality as far as video went, but I didn't let that stop me. I was like, fuck it, let me just like try to do a little research, figure out this tech that I need, and try casting Heroes of New Earth. And so I did. Blip.tv, yeah. And I just started trying to make connections within the scene as far as like, oh, can I cast your guys' in-house game that you're playing? And sure enough, I was able to do some, and I had 5 people tuning into my stream at one point and was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And eventually, over a little bit of time there, that led into, was contacted about trying to, about somebody that was interested in maybe starting up a casting company of sorts, a casting identity, if you want to call it that, and what eventually became HoNcast, and said, sure, let's try this out. And, that's where it started. I mean, I guess I don't really know what else more to say on that. We've kind of talked about like the evolution altogether, but obviously did that for a little bit. About a year later, I was contacted by S2 Games themselves, and the idea of bringing me on to S2 Games to kind of be an official caster was put to me, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Because at that time, like I said, I didn't know what I was going to ultimately be doing. I didn't really have a job outside of just the occasional casting, and I lived in California my whole life, and they're like, hey, you want to come to Kalamazoo, Michigan? I'm like, is that an amusement park? Is that even a real city? And turns out it was a real city, and they actually had a game studio here. And so yeah, I said, fuck it, let's do it. And flew out over here, and that was back in 2011. And my adult life officially began. I think that's a good way to put it. In July of 2011, when I flew out to Kalamazoo, Michigan, to start my new job working for S2 Games, my adult life officially began. And what I mean by that, as far as my calling, okay, this is what I was meant to do, this is what I enjoy doing, working in esports, ultimately. Here I am 12 years later, whatever it is, 10, 11, 12 years later, still doing the same thing as far as working in esports. Obviously, I'm not necessarily doing the commentating side of it, but working in esports. And as far as I'm concerned, till the day I die, I would love to work in esports if the opportunity continues to exist for me. So, and then there's the personal side of it too, as I also talk about earlier. I eventually met my now wife got married in 2015, 7 years. I have 2 kids now. I have over a 4-year-old. I have a 1-year-old, 2 daughters. I still live here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and life's good. I cannot complain at all. So Except the winters. The winters sometime are pretty bad. But again, this all goes back to HoN did amazing things for me. So this concept of, are you sad it's dead? Are you sad that you didn't leave sooner to go to Dota? You know, all these questions that I got and get. No, absolutely not. I'm happy. I'm glad. I am thrilled the way it happened, the way it did, all throughout, from the experiences I learned throughout to where it's led me today. So, there you go. That's kind of the story, I guess, of my journey with HoN and what it's done for me. And it's officially concluded, as you can see on your screen. It is no more. I do not have any plans to do any kind of other casting, as I've said. Again, I haven't done HoN casting for 6 years, guys. I've been doing other things, including I have a full-time job, but I still work in esports. I'm not saying I'm never going to cast again. Absolutely not. That's not the case. I would love to cast. As it's always been, though, from a financial perspective, especially when I have 2 kids now to support a full family, casting, frankly, is not financially supportive unless you're at a very, very elite tier. And it is very difficult to break into that in many of the scenes. So, in all the scenes. So, yeah. Got any advice for a 20-year-old in college? Don't rush yourself. I think that's good advice. Don't rush yourself. Don't feel like you need to choose something. Don't feel like you need to choose your calling at that moment. Another thing I like to talk about as well, for as comfortable as I may seem talking to you guys right now and doing all the live events that I did all throughout those years, from LAN events, talking in front of crowds, etc. I flunked out of speech class when I was in college even. Because I made a point to not show up when I was supposed to give a speech because I was that nervous. I did not want to stand in front of a classroom of 20 people. I didn't give a fuck anyways to give a speech. I was never somebody that was comfortable talking in front of people. But something clicked. Something clicked when it came to talking about something I truly love and enjoy. In this case, Heroes of New Earth, or gaming in general. And I was able to kind of get over that hump, right? Get over that hump of the nerves, whatever, anxiety, etc. And here I am today, able to do what I'm doing here. So, and what I was able to do all those years. So, no regrets. That's a good way to put it, Manfred. No regrets. I've made amazing friends. Speaking of that, over the years, obviously I mentioned my wife, my family, but just the friendships I gained as well over the years. So many to think about and talk about, and that I could go over, but obviously not going to name every single one because that'd be ridiculous. But yeah, obviously they all know who they are. So, nice knowing you, Breaky. Well, yeah. Again, with that said, I'm not passing away or anything, guys. I'm still going to be here. I don't think I am. Hopefully. I'm not going down with HoN in that sense. But when it comes to like the streaming and stuff, I'm not necessarily actively streaming nowadays because of the full-time job and stuff, but maybe this will be kind of a bump for me to, streaming every once in a while a little bit more frequently, to hang out with peeps. If that's what people like, then perhaps, but no guarantees there. All right. I think I'm going to call it there. It is 2:30 a.m. I got work. I'm going to say tomorrow, but technically later today. I got the kids to get up with and take into daycare, so it's going to be a fun morning, but it was worth it. No complaints. No problem staying up this late. I love you guys. I mean that. People hanging out in chat here. The mess. I've seen all these kind messages coming through. Every single kind message, even if I haven't directly responded to you, I've been seeing it. It means a lot, guys. It does. So thank you. Thank you for everything, guys. Got to do my sign off now. All right, welcome. You know what? I got to reset that. All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the official sign-off here of Heroes of New Earth. I was Breaky CPK, your host of all of these years. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for everyone being here. We'll see you on the other side. Have a good night. Peace on. R.I.P.